Florida.
Mr. President, the terror and devastation unleashed on Israelis by Iran-backed Hamas terrorists have rightly horrified the world. Innocent families were murdered in their homes. Children were beheaded. Girls were raped. Whole families were burned alive. An elderly, wheelchair-bound woman, later identified as a Holocaust survivor, was brutally dragged through the streets of Gaza. Children who witnessed the murders of their parents have been kidnapped and are being held hostage by Hamas. Hundreds were mowed down at a music festival. Thousands are dead. At least 33 Americans dead and reportedly 10 held hostage. The atrocities are too numerous to fully recount, but the images we have seen will never leave our memories. In 2019, my wife and I had the opportunity to visit Kfar Aza, one of the kibbutz that was the site to a complete massacre. As the early reports were coming out, I was really worried about the kibbutz because of its proximity to Gaza. It's about half a mile away. When I heard the news that it was the site of one of the most horrific and barbaric activities, my heart just sank. We had spent an afternoon there, and it was the most peaceful place. I keep thinking about the moms and kids who are playing outside, enjoying the warm summer weather. It is gut-wrenching to think of the fate of the families we met that day. I spoke with Chen, the lady who led our tour of the kibbutz, who was traveling outside of Israel that day and survived. I was able to speak to her right after it happened, and she has not been able to go back home. She said it was unclear if she'll ever be allowed to go back home. Can you ever imagine? So many in this chamber are so deeply connected to Israel, and I bet almost everyone here has a story like mine. We know people in the IDF who have been called to serve. We have friends all over Israel who have spent days in bomb shelters as rockets have been launched by terrorists intent on wiping Israel and Jews off the face of the earth. I've met with survivors and hostage families. I placed a poster outside my office that features the faces of the hostages being held by Hamas. I'm not going to take it down until they get home. Not since the Holocaust has the world witnessed such a brutal attack on the Jewish people. You have to really let that think in. It is 2023 and sure feels like history is repeating itself. We also have a president who can barely even talk about the Americans who are held hostage right now in Gaza. The first step to freeing these hostages and helping Israel destroy these terrorists is passing aid for Israel. We must send the world a clear message: attacking the United States and our allies and partners is a bad idea, and it will only end with us winning. In the days and weeks ahead, Israel is going to once and for all destroy Hamas and its ability to exist as a terror state on Israel's border. The United States has to support Israel right now and ensure they have the weapons they need to completely destroy Hamas. That is why I'm proud to join Senators Marshall, Vance, and our colleagues on this bill. The House took decisive action by passing this bill last week. They moved quickly, and the measure is fully paid for. The Senate can follow suit right now. I'm proud to co-lead the companion bill in the Senate. Now I'll yield back to my colleague for Kansas.